Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Coach, after watching the film and the win against the Jaguars, what stood out most about the victory?
Yeah, it was really about the guys stepping up. We had some injuries in this game prior to and within the game, and I really am proud of the coaches and the players and how they rose to the occasion and really stepped up and were prepared to get that done. So the defensive guys and the defensive backfield I thought really played well. So it was really good to see those guys step in there, and it was exciting to see our team come together. In the first half, and starting into the third quarter.
Coach, I want to ask you about the end of the first half into the second half. I thought Caleb had a great second quarter. Kmet, obviously, with a great play. I love the design with a fake screen left, fake screen right. Boom, gotcha, touchdown Chicago. But then coming out of the locker room, immediately there's a peanut punch and a football that's loose, and you guys get it. Can you encapsulate that whole sequence for us?
Yeah, so going into it, we were driving the ball, and we ended up throwing the interception on a third and inches, third and one. We threw the interception. Defense comes back out and has a really nice stop. Kyler Gordon makes a really nice stop there midfield, forcing the punt. And then we get the ball at the 15-yard line with 3:08, and the offense takes the ball down, and scores there. But, in that drive, I thought was really nice is that, Caleb had an opportunity, because obviously we can see the throws that he can make, but he also can use his feet. When defenses utilize their personnel to do mostly coverage, to cover our receivers, then there's a lot of open lanes to be able to run the ball. We've seen that with some really good quarterbacks, in the league, having the ability to do that. He had a couple big gains in there, and then he works it down there and throws a really good, the third down play to Keenan was really good. And then obviously the touchdown to corner out to Cole to capitalize on that whole drive before half was outstanding. And what was even more important is that the offense utilized the time there. They utilized it all the way down to 13 seconds. They only had 13 seconds left on the clock there, and that was really good management, by everybody there. And then coming out of the halftime, obviously they were searching for some chunk plays, and they got one. But T.J. Edwards does a really good job of punching that ball out, and Elijah Hicks on the spot, which he played very well, by the way. Ended up getting a nice return to the plus side of the field there. We get the ball down there again. Keenan makes another good third down play, get the ball down, and we overcome adversity. We had a penalty. We had two guys moving on 3rd and 4, I believe it was, or 3rd and 5 down there right in front of the end zone there. And it was a good call. We got to make sure we're set there. And we overcame adversity there and scored on the next play. And what a great pass and a great catch by Keenan in the back of the end zone to really capture that middle eight.
Kap, you and I have talked about, everything that Coach Eberflus has talked about as far as offensive line, running the football well, running to make the quarterback comfortable, the defense being strong. And you and I think we're on the same page. We feel like as far as execution, it's the best that we've seen from the Bears this year. So, Coach, how would you classify it? Where do you place Sunday's performance of all the things that you wanted from the Bears team versus other games this season?
Well, I was just proud of the guys and really proud of everybody involved for the whole week. We decided to go over, we finished the game last week and, just basically went over the whole game on Monday. Then we flew out Monday night, gave the guys off Tuesday, and then we did walk through Wednesday, so we wanted to really do a good job of keeping the guys fresh. And that was the whole mindset of having them fresh for the game, because the performance team, again, taking information from them, said that, hey, we need to get the guys' legs under them. We got to make sure their clocks are good. And we did a really good job with that. And guys followed the plan, and that was a part of it, us feeling great on Sunday. And again, we didn't start the game great. We went a couple 3-and-outs. They had a big drive on us. We did a really good job of stopping them in the red zone down there on defense. And, got going there a little bit, more in the second quarter. But overall, I thought the guys really did a nice job. I trust the leadership of this group, and they did a wonderful job all week.
Coach, there was a report with Stacey Dales, and Hoodie and I were talking about this, where she said the Bears switched after the Indy game when you had your leadership council, which you've empowered these guys. Mercedes Lewis leading the charge. Caleb's in there. DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. We're going to go a scripted first 15 rather than just concepts. I know you're not the O coordinator, but you're the ultimate boss. Can you take us behind the scenes of that decision, that discussion, and how that all came about? Because it certainly looks like the guys have adapted to that.
Yeah, it's always, you're always looking for improvement. And that's what we're going to do during the bye week. This bye week here for us is really big because we can, not that we don't do it every single week or in-game tactics and adjust and move during the course of that, but it's important for us to step back here, get some good evaluation of where we are as a football team and where we're going as a football team. And that's important. So we'll take the next couple of days here as a football staff to get that done. And then the players are obviously working on their minds, their bodies, and getting rest and recovery with our training staff, and and also visiting with family and friends. But it's important for us to be able to take this step back and be able to evaluate where we are. And to answer your question, that first part of the quarter there, the first part of the game, is something we need to look at. It's something that we need to do, and same thing on defense. We got to look at our run averages and special teams. We got to look and cleaning up the penalties, and those are things that we'll pick one or two things that we need to look at, and we'll develop a plan, an improvement plan for that, and we'll take it step by step.
Matt Eberflus is the head coach for the Chicago Bears. He joins Kap and J Hood after every Bears game right here on the home of the Bears, ESPN 1000. Coach, the game's behind you now, but I'd like to know what was your game plan against Trevor Lawrence in that offense, because as you always say, next man up, but there's guys we haven't heard from all season that are making big plays out there. So tell us, what was your game plan to try to thwart the offense for Jacksonville?
Yeah, they got really good skill over there. They got their first-round pick. They got some good receivers to complement that. The tight end was coming back. They had been running the ball really well, the last couple of weeks, really all year compared to last year. And Trevor's a good player, so it was important for us to play good team defense. I thought we did that. But in terms of the plan and the operation of it, we really trusted, Elijah, he's been in our system. Jalen Jones has been in our system. And when Blackwell came, all three of those guys have been in our system for a few years, and they understand, the coverage and where they're supposed to be and when they're supposed to be there. And the guys trust them, and the veterans on that group trust those guys. And so really, it literally was next man in, let's step in there and play. And again, of course, we had some different contingency plans based on what would happen, but the guys operated well. And of course, we're always moving our tactics, around a little bit during the course of the game, but the guys operated well yesterday.
Coach, I want to ask you specifically about Caleb Williams, because Kurt Warner on the broadcast, you're down there coaching. We get to hear Thayer every week, Waddle every week with us. And then I'm listening to Kurt Warner, a Hall of Fame level quarterback, and he takes you through. He said, the processing you're watching from Caleb Williams is next level. And you see his eyes go all over the field and then back and hit a receiver. Can you take us through the growth you're seeing in Caleb in that aspect? Because we haven't seen that from a Bears quarterback in forever.
Yeah, that's just good quarterbacking. That starts with the play design. It starts with the coaching part of it, but then it ultimately comes down to Caleb. Caleb's the guy that's learned this system and learning the system, and he's learning his receivers. And all you're really seeing there is him going through his progression. So he sees the coverage pre-snap, then he reads it post-snap, and then he goes through his progressions. If one is open, he takes it. Then he just progresses 2, 3, 4, and you see him sometimes go all the way back to 4 and potentially 5, and then he ends up, throwing those passes. And obviously he's very accurate at, 100% of the time, 95% of the time, but he does a really good job with that. And all you're doing is really seeing him going through his progressions.
So that's 2 checks for Cole Kmet, right? Tight end and long snapper, right? He gets 2 checks.
Yeah, he's going to give me 50% of it.
I think that's only proper, Coach.
That was unbelievable, Coach. And I know you didn't punt. Hoodie and I talked about it. No more punting once Cole was snapping. Was that by design? I think we lost Coach.
Go ahead, Coach.
We got you?
Am I still there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we got you now.
No, that was by design. The offense just got clicking at the right time, but we were certainly concerned about that a little bit in terms of snapping that because, short snap is a little bit different than long snap. Cole was great in that moment, stepping there, and I know he's always been concerned about stepping in there and doing that. He did a wonderful job with that. It's the more you can do, and we needed him yesterday, and he stepped up in a big way, not only as a leader, because of course he always does that, but as a tight end did a wonderful job, catching all those passes. I think he was 5 for 5, I believe, for 70, and 2 touchdowns. But man, the short snaps for those field goals were big, and he's just an ultimate team player.
What's the latest on the injuries? What did you learn after the game as far as the injuries, since we were talking about the long snapper and other things?
Yeah, so our long snapper, Daly, we're getting an image on him today. We'll see where it is. We're getting actually this morning, and we'll see where that goes. And then we'll have to make adjustments from there. And then obviously, we got Brisker, Gordon, and Tyreek in the secondary. So those guys, we'll wait and see what's going on, but we're hopeful. The bye week is coming at the right spot, and we're hopeful, and we'll see where they are.
Coach, in terms of what you saw from Keenan Allen yesterday, like DJ's a superstar, got paid like a superstar. We've got an emerging player in Roma Dunze, Kmet, obviously a really good player who got paid. Keenan Allen missed a couple games. I thought his emergence yesterday, the way he played, just takes you guys to another level. Do you agree?
Yeah, I really do, because, he's 5 targets, 5 receptions. Those 5 receptions were huge. You think about all those catches that he made, 3rd, 4th down, in the touchdown. I mean, every one of them was a huge catch, and really in tight windows. I mean, every one of those were tight window catches, and that just shows you that Keenan Allen has the ability to work his body into always being open. And he can always do that. He's done that his whole career, and that's why he's a Hall of Famer. And he proved that yesterday.
What are you doing during the bye, Coach?
Oh, we're going to work here. Coaches are coming in. I gave the players off. They're off right now. Gave them Victory Monday, so they're out and gone, and they're going to be working. Injured players have to come in and report in and get some treatment during the course of the week. But everybody else is off. And then in terms of the coaches, we are in today, in tomorrow, and then we're going to work a half a day on Wednesday. Then they get off the rest of the week. And then during that process, we're going to do a good job of, what can we improve on, and then the process to get that done, through, putting it to the players statistically, and then doing the drills, teamwork, and then into the game, how we can improve on those different areas.
Your life is a football coach. You're also a husband, also a dad. Will you do anything fun where you go, I'm just going to decompress and not even think about cover 2 or this offense or what I've got to do? Like anything fun at all just to decompress your mind?
Yeah, well, of course, I want to hang out with my ladies. So I got my wife, Kelly. I'll hang out with her, and then potentially go see my daughter. She's in college now, so I'll go see her for an afternoon, and then really just hang at the house there. But I don't really feel like during the season you can totally let it go, because you're in it right now. We're in the middle of it, and we have to keep improving.
Coach, have a wonderful bye week. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks, and best of luck against the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Bears 4-2. Pretty freaking cool.
All right, thanks for having me on.